morning. So on behalf of our new director, Dr. Tom Christian, who couldn't be here today, I'd like to say welcome to you all. He's off at an Air Force Senior Leader Conference at the Air Force Material Command this week. So back in November 1944, General Henry Hap Arnold, the head of the Army Air Forces, brought together a distinguished cadre of scientists to form the Army Air Forces Scientific Advisory Group. Theodore von Karman, one of the world's leading aerodynamicists, chaired the board that continues to this day as the Air Force Scientific Advisory Board. Arnold convened this group because he was convinced that the first essential of air power is preeminence in research, and the war clearly demonstrated the Army Air Force could ignore the frontiers of science only at the nation's peril. In October 1951, the Air Force Office of Scientific Research, AFOSR, was created to manage the basic research programs of the United States Air Force. For more than 60 years, the accomplishments of AFOSR, ranging across a wide spectrum of aerospace sciences, have led to the creation of revolutionary new capabilities for the Air Force and significant discoveries for the benefit of mankind. AFOSR's mission to bring newly created scientific understanding and technology options from the scientific community has generated tremendous payoffs for weapons and devices in use by the modern warfighter. Advances in laser technology, precision guidance, stealth capabilities, computer processing, materials, and energy are but a few of the most significant areas of accomplishment derived from AFOSR-sponsored basic research. Today's U.S. Air Force dominance is the direct result of the years of investment in the sciences and technologies that underlie air and space power and information production and use. A continuing commitment to comprehensive investment provides the Air Force with a technological edge that manifests itself in our current preeminent air, space, and information systems. Our mission is challenging: to discover, to identify opportunities for significant scientific achievements and breakthrough research around the world. To shape, to rapidly bring to bear on these opportunities the right researchers and resources in the interest of fostering basic research for Air Force needs. To champion, to enable the Air Force to exploit these opportunities through transitioning revolutionary science to the DoD and to industry. With the December passage of the 2015 budget by Congress, the Air Force Basic Research Program will administer $390 million this year. That's a 5% increase from FY14. But there is some uncertainty of future sustainment at these levels due to the Budget Control Act, also known as sequestration. Additionally, AFOSR administers $147 million of the Department of Defense University Research Initiative, which includes the Multidisciplinary University Research Initiative, or MURIs, and the Defense University Research Instrumentation Program, or DURIPS. So you might ask, why does the Air Force invest in basic research and not just leave it to the National Science Foundation or others? Our basic research investment attracts highly creative scientists and engineers to work on Air Force and DoD challenges. AFOSR builds productive, enduring relationships with scientists and engineers who look beyond the limits of today's technology to enable revolutionary Air Force capabilities. Over its history, AFOSR has supported more than 70 researchers who went on to become Nobel laureates. Furthermore, AFOSR's basic research investment educates new scientists and engineers in fields critical to the Air Force. These scientists and engineers contribute not only to our nation's continued security, but also to our economic vitality and technological preeminence. Our basic research is about maintaining technical superiority and preventing future technological surprise. To succeed, it must have a degree of latitude to study scientific areas that are broader than current operational missions. Within two overarching guidelines, opportunities in research and applicability to the Air Force, AFOSR balances its investment across subjects of research based on its best understanding of future trends in science and technology and the projected needs of warfighters. Decisions on how, in aggregate, to distribute the funding among the many research enterprises, whether it's domestic universities and laboratories, AFRL's laboratories, small businesses, and foreign universities and laboratories. It must also consider the extent to which other agencies, some of which are on the panel today, some of which you've heard from the rest of this week, inside and outside the DoD, are investing in similar activities and assure that its investments are appropriately coordinated with those agencies. It must also consider the Air Force's need to develop and support its own staff of excellent researchers in world-class research facilities. Because the U.S.-based university research establishment is by far the strongest in the world, and because, like all federal science funding agencies, AFOSR is committed to maintaining our national strength and to producing the nation's next generation of scientists and engineers, well over 90% of our funds are spent inside the United States. Of that, only about 1/3 stays in-house with the Air Force at the Air Force Research Lab, at the Air Force Academy, at the Air Force Institute of Technology, and other Air Force internal research programs, leaving the majority of the funds to be distributed to universities and industry through several programs. So we function within a worldwide research community that is changing rapidly and profoundly. It is committed to responding quickly and forcefully to consequential change and to applying wisely the resources necessary to advance science and technology for the Air Force. Our location near the nation's capital promotes efficient information exchange, collaboration, and sharing of resources with counterparts and other governmental agencies. Our program management enterprise is now organized into divisions, each of which is led by a chief who reports to the director of AFOSR. The Basic Research Division has 2 branches with 2 teams under each. So this is a construct that we just formed in November. So prior to this, there were 5 divisions. The 5 divisions have now been organized into 4 teams. We did not change any portfolios, so the program managers are effectively still the same. We just shuffled things around to make it a little more efficient in terms of the number of program officers we have to the number of supervisors. So we reduced the number of supervisors to allow the program managers to do their job. The Physical and Biological Sciences branch, led by Dr. Pat Roach, has 22 portfolios split between a physical sciences team and a chemistry and biological sciences team. The Engineering and Information Science branch, led by Dr. David Stargell, contains 17 portfolios divided into an Engineering and Complex Systems team and an Information and Network Science team. More information about each of these portfolios can be found on our website and updated in the soon-to-be-released 2015 broad agency announcement. Truly transformational research can come from anywhere. AFOSR looks broadly across all perceived future Air Force technological needs through the lens of transformational change and across the entire world of science and technology. To maintain vigilance of the evolution of science across the globe and to exploit any scientific advances, if and when appropriate, AFOSR maintains its international division at 3 overseas branches. Headquartered in London is the European Office of Aerospace Research and Development, which also oversees our Asian Office of Research and Development in Tokyo, Japan, and we have a southern office down in Santiago, Chile. These offices support direct interchanges with the world's scientific and engineering community through participation in a wide range of meetings and development of a large number of working relationships. Scientific partnerships with others is important for obvious reasons. For example, AFOSR regularly reviews and assesses its basic research portfolio with panels composed of peer groups, laboratory management, service and DoD leadership, and well-established subject matter experts from industry, academia, and other government agencies. The purpose is to determine relevance of the program to warfighter needs, program progress toward achieving stated goals, program efficiency, and to share costs. And you can see on this one just a sample of the groups that we work with and some of the programs that we've partnered with them on. The remainder of my slides will outline other programs that are administered in part by AFOSR, some of which are shared with our sister service brethren. The MURI program supports research by teams of investigators that intersect more than one traditional science and engineering discipline in order to accelerate both research progress and transition of research results to application. Most MURI efforts involve researchers from multiple academic institutions and academic departments. The DURIP program is for the acquisition of major equipment by U.S. institutions of higher education to augment current or develop new research capabilities to support research in technical areas of interest to the DoD. Several joint programs have the goal of developing in the next generation of outstanding scientists and engineers for careers in support of national defense programs. The National Defense Science and Engineering Graduate Fellowship Program is sponsored by AFOSR, the Army Research Office, the Office of Naval Research, and the DoD High Performance Computing Modernization Center. The program provides 3-year fellowships to U.S. citizens or U.S. nationals pursuing PhDs in science and engineering disciplines of importance to the DoD. The ASSURE program supports undergraduate research in DoD-relevant disciplines and is designed to increase the number of high-quality undergraduate science and engineering majors who ultimately decide to pursue advanced degrees in these fields. A strong U.S. science and engineering workforce is of clear interest to the DoD, as the capability of producing superior technology is essential for future national security. The Junior Science and Humanities Symposia is run on an annual rotating basis between the three services to provide high school students opportunities to conduct STEM-related research. The Air Force will assume the lead after this year's event at the end of April. Instead of funding university-affiliated research centers, the Air Force Research Lab defines and works with university centers of excellence. A center of excellence is a joint effort among AFOSR, another Air Force Research Lab Technology Directorate, and an outstanding university or team of universities to perform high-priority collaborative research. So it's in some cases similar to an Air Force MURI, whereas the main MURIs are a DoD program. Centers of excellence are competitively awarded and research topics are jointly defined by AFOSR and the Technical Directorate. The Center of Excellence model provides flexibility to realign activities into new areas and opportunities with new outstanding universities that have current expertise. So there is effectively a 5-year limit on how long a Center of Excellence will be there. Additionally, the Air Force has traditionally used federally funded research and development corporations such as Aerospace Corp, Lincoln Labs, and MITRE for engineering and in-house design support instead of the UARC model. The National Research Council Resident Research Associate Program offers postdoctoral and senior scientist and engineer opportunities to perform research at sponsoring AFRL technical directorates, at the Air Force Institute of Technology, and at the U.S. Air Force Academy. These are annual sabbaticals or fellowships, but they can be renewed up to a 3-year term. The Summer Faculty Fellowship Program offers research and partnering opportunities for normally 125 faculty members and 50 of their graduate students to conduct research. One change for this summer is that we increased the numbers to 150 faculty and 80 graduate students to go with them. The Historically Black Colleges and Universities and Minority Institutions program was created to enhance defense-related research at covered educational institutions. The program awards grants within AFOSR's portfolio to principal investigators at these institutions. Proposals are accepted through our broad agency announcement and competitively selected for funding, typically for the 3-year grants. The Young Investigator Research Program, or YIP, supports scientists and engineers who have received a PhD or equivalent degree within the previous 5 years and show exceptional ability and promise for conducting basic research. The objectives of this program are to foster creative basic research in science and engineering, to enhance early career development of outstanding young investigators, and to increase opportunities for young investigators to incorporate the Air Force mission and related challenges in science and engineering into their professional activities and plans. The primary objective of the Small Business Technology Transfer Research Program is to involve small businesses in Air Force relevant defense research and to enable them to commercialize innovative technologies for the advancement of U.S. economic competitiveness. Specifically, the STTR program is designed to provide incentive for small companies, academic institutions, and nonprofit research institutions to transfer technical ideas from the laboratory to the marketplace. So the rule on an STTR, for those who aren't familiar with it, is a small business puts the proposal in, but at least 30% of the work must be done by a university. And then likewise, at least 30% of the work has to be done by the small business. And so it's that middle in there. It's a shared university business proposal. Basic research is curiosity driven, but that curiosity results not only in the creation of new knowledge, it creates new companies. As of 2014, basic research funding provided by the Air Force Office of Scientific Research has resulted in or significantly contributed to the establishment of 72 cutting-edge startup companies. These companies directly contribute to the nation's economy with transformative innovations in defense, energy, computing, communications, materials, and new manufacturing processes, just to name a few. But it doesn't end there. Our quality of life is improved and future scientists are trained who focus on new technologies, creating new industries with new jobs, all of which advance our economy. Similar to the other funding agencies, our grant opportunities are announced annually through a broad agency announcement, which interested PIs submit white papers to the respective program officers. If the white paper is deemed of interest to the Air Force, the program officer will then request a full proposal. If the full proposal is reviewed favorably and selected for funding, our grants officers then work with the University Office of Sponsored Programs to award a grant. Our standard grants are for 3 years with potential options for a 4th and a 5th year. More information about our process can be found through the website shown on the bottom of the screen or by searching for the BAA on grants.gov. And I have a meeting tomorrow morning to talk about our 2015 broad agency announcement, and the 2015 one will reflect the new structure that we have. If interested in seeing more examples of our successful researchers, please check out our Facebook and Twitter feeds. We also have a YouTube channel that shows presentations from our program officers and their PIs. And with that, I will turn it back over to the next speaker.